Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our live tonight. We're joined by Danny here, and he's a shaman druid. Am I correct here?
Yeah.
You're a druid too. He gets rid of bad spirits and twisted spirits. Am I right?
You're right.
And also the demonic sort. We're waiting on Andruna, my co-host, wherever she's got to. She's disappeared for. I think she's been captured. I don't know where she is. She usually appears by now, fiddling with her computer. But we'll just need to keep going.
Hey, don't be shy.
Anyway, I've got a first question. So it's, oh, my goodness, the power of my hands. Here she's here. Add to stream.
I'm in.
You're in.
That was it just, sorry, that was it. See how I'd rebooted it? Oh, that was it just coming up there.
Well, here's
Is that
Danny.
a bit better, Chris?
Aye.
Hi,
Danny here.
I'm Drew. Please do.
I've already had a wee discussion with him about the demon thing that you're going to ask him, and it's better not.
I've actually not wrote any names down anyway. It's just general questions. It's not any name.
It's no a good idea, isn't that correct, Danny?
No, I kind of thought that, but I was going to do like the L and the S at the end or something. No.
Here's Danny. Got to say something?
Yeah, I mean, it's okay to discuss certain things about them or whatever, but you don't want to bring up, an actual demon's name.
Yes.
Especially because you don't know who's watching, you don't know who's around, you don't know who's susceptible, who's not.
Right.
It's just not a very.
Oh, Wally's saying hi.
Hiya.
All right, mate. You're quick to go that way.
Hello.
That's my fiance, Wally.
Hello.
He's got a broken jaw now. He's in pain. He's got a broken jaw just now.
Oh, well, that's no good.
Right. Anyway.
Danny, give you a friend request the other day.
I sent a friend request.
Danny.
I think he's maybe got it off you.
Right, okay.
Aye. I seen that you were a friend of Chris, and I gave you a friend request.
Okay.
Right, anyway.
Go chill it. Right, go. Thank you.
He's getting a row. But anyway, Danny, first question. How did you get into this?
I was born into it. My family has always been into this thing for generations. We have shaman is shaman, depending on where you are, how you pronounce it. Mm-hmm. We got like 10 or 12 generations of both that and nature druids, And actually, when my first gift started happening, they got in a big argument over whether I was going to be a shaman, or whether I was going to be a druid. And because of the big argument, I ended up having to study both. So because they could have come to terms with which way I should go, I ended up studying and training in both. So,
I've got a question that I've always wondered. Right, again, this is going to sound stupid, right? But you see how you get different religions, right? Now, obviously, what I'm trying to say is, right, you get say you get a Christian, right, and they think somebody's possessed, right? Mm-hmm. So they quote the Bible, right, and whatever happens, it leaves, right? And then you get like a Jewish person. How, if there's only like one God, right? Obviously, because I think there's like one God, right? And there's these entities. How do they ken to each prayer is different? If you know what I'm trying to say, Every prayer is different. How does it work?
Well, it all works. It's all based on faith. All belief.
Your intent.
It's all on faith. It's all on your own belief system. It's all on. That's where the strength of it comes from. That's where the power comes from. Is from faith of what you believe, right? So, if let's say there's a nasty spirit, okay?
Aye.
Now, up in this area where I am, it's 9. There's a good possibility it's going to take the form of a Wendigo because people are terrified of them up here. So it's already got a base for which it already has a scare tactic because people are so afraid of it. So it just becomes that, right?
Right.
Okay, now, say towards Nova Scotia, it's race that they're afraid of. So guess what? You're going to come across more. You're going to come across more race, right?
Right.
And you gotta, and when you're fighting something, when you're in battle, just like anything else in life. If you don't know how to drive a car, you probably don't want to put the keys in ignition and take off.
No, no.
Right.
You know,
Bad, eh?
so
I
if, you
can't drive
believe,
bad.
if you're believing in a certain being and that being's coming at you, you're going to know what you believe will take care of that thing. And it's your faith in that belief is what protects you. Right?
Right.
So it's all about, it's really a lot of it is about faith. A lot of it is about what you can conceive yourself, you know.
Yes.
So that's where a lot of it comes from.
So it's faith in like a higher power.
And
Is
the power
making
that
that
you can beat it within yourself as
it's
well.
in you. It's like you get out. You get out of that person now. That is what it's. That is basically what it is. It's listening
like
up.
even if you don't want to say, "Hey, honeybee," "Hey, Mary," "Hey, Lunar," "Hey, Shell,"
Hey guys.
"Hey, everybody."
Hi, everybody in chat.
But if you didn't want to say God, if you don't want to say devil, okay, because those are just common names, right?
Yes.
Well, you don't have to, because there's one higher power of good. There's one higher power of bad,
Evil.
right?
Mhm.
So, I mean, someone's in charge. Whoever you want to give the name to, they're in charge,
Yes.
right?
Someone outside.
Everything, it's like a pyramid. Goes like this, right?
Yep.
And all these different things that are nasty, or all these different things that are good. So let's go with something simple and say angels and demons.
Yep.
Angels are going to follow God's rules and help us. Demons, obviously, they're not our friends, right? Well, I mean, that can easily translate to an elemental who's here to help us, right? Or can turn to, I don't know, an ethereal, which is the opposite of an elemental, right? That's another thing we'll talk about later. But so the elementals are here for us. The ethereals, they're, you know, when the elementals get blamed, it's not them, it's the ethereals.
Right.
The elementals don't even care about us. Okay.
They just look after the land and the trees and things, don't they? That's all they care about. It's the preservation of the land and the wildlife.
Yeah, well, let's think about this. Okay, the elementals, like Astro, my buddy, the elementals were here 50 million years before anything else. Okay, they don't give a rat's butt about us. I mean, in the accents of time, we're here but a hiccup. Okay, they've been here forever, right?
And they will be here forevermore.
So the elementals really don't care about us too much, you know. Like, to us, we're lint on their shirt. Okay. However, if you do something really negative towards them, guess what? You're going to pay for that. You know, if you disrespect them, and if you're being an ass to them, they're going to pay you back.
Aye.
But on the same respect, if you treat them with respect, you will always have respect of nature. You always have respect for the elementals, right? Elementals are not bad, you know. Now, Ethereals, okay, which have been here pretty near as long, and they're pretty near as strong, right? But they are unharnessed or void energy. They're energy that has no placement, right? Now, so they are kind of like an elemental, but they're rogue. They have no attachments, not even to nature. They're just completely free of all that, right? Now they're nasty. I mean, they'll cause crap just because they're bored. So I mean, it's a totally different ballgame with them, eh?
I mean,
love you on scale.
I mean, I had a question for you. What's the most terrifying thing you've ever seen?
The most terrifying thing I ever seen.
That was one of my questions.
I'm psychic amused.
My ex-wife before breakfast. No, wait.
No.
That is one of my answers.
Yeah, that was one of his answers. Cup of tea.
Hey, Laurie.
Danny.
Hi, honeybee. I think.
Everybody.
I think probably it was probably a three-headed demon.
Wow.
Yeah, it knocked me on my, like, it. You know, when you're dealing with these things, like when I'm working with the diocese or working with the councils or working with anybody, the main thing is you gotta hold your composure, right?
Oh yeah.
So I went into this building because all kinds of crap. I don't we don't get into it too much, but too much crap was going on. And I opened the door and I walked in, and this thing turned around and said, "What the f are you doing here?" Right? And I looked at it and I went, "Back in a second." Turn around, shut the door, and went and got my composure. Right? Like I'm like, "What the hell was that?" You know, who dreamt this thing up? You know, I didn't. Yeah, it was pretty gnarly.
So I take it they take the form of.
That's what I was going to ask. So is
Uh-huh.
that the oddest thing you've seen then? The oddest looking?
No, that was the oddest looking one, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was. You see, what'll happen is when something like a demon, especially, okay, they will hunt for everybody in that area their worst fear, and they become that to give them a jump start on terrifying everyone. Eh?
So there would be spiders everywhere and things for people that hate spiders. That would maybe how it would start.
Well, here's the thing. You know, when I would never have imagined anything like that, right?
Right.
So, it took me back because I'm like, okay, who thought of this? You know, like what the heck movie were you watching that this came in your head? You know that this, right? So yeah, that was probably the oddest one.
Right, I've got a couple.
Right, when you go.
Again. Right, so what do you make of people that actually want to follow demons? Like, do they actually, instead of us having like our deities like Santa maybe whoever else, what do you actually think about people that just choose to have a demon as a deity?
Well, you know what? It's none of my business. I mean, I believe in what I believe. My faith is my faith, and your faith is your faith. I mean, whatever you believe, I'm okay with that. You know, I don't judge a person by what they believe, what their sexual orientations is, what their skin is, how much money they make, how rich they are. That's just icing on the cake, right?
Do you think that's safe for them to do that? But
I don't know because I don't do it.
No.
You know, they do it. I can't answer. I can't pretend
to
answer.
Point.
You know, I can't answer something I don't know.
Right.
You know, obviously, if they're following it, they've made an alliance, so they're going to be safe, I would imagine.
Right.
Right. But why they follow, how they follow, that's totally up to them. And, you know, I give them credit because they're following what they believe. They follow their heart. Now, whether I believe it or not, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. In the end of the day, and I, you know, this is why I tell everybody, at the end of the day, when you're lying in your deathbed, okay, here's the key. Did I follow who I believed and what I believed? Yes. Did I live the life that I wanted to? Yes. You know, did I love the person I wanted to love to, regardless of gender, age, race, whatever? Was I with the person I wanted to be with? Did it give me happiness? Yes. Well, then what do you got to bitch about? Nothing.
Right.
Okay. You know, that's why I tell people, you know what? Who cares if you love somebody and they love you back and you're happy? Have at it. I mean, it's your life. You know what I mean? But like, and on the same note, don't throw what you have in other people's faces, and don't let them throw what they have in your face.
Yes.
You know? Life's too short to get all worked up over that crap.
We're only here for a couple of seconds, you know.
Yeah. That's that.
You know, life isn't a long thing. It's a thing where we're here to learn what we can, share what we can. Okay. And in my book, it's very simple. If you try to be a good person and you don't hurt other people, you try to help other people, you're not an ass to everybody, then you're a good person in my book. And I don't care what you do, you're your family. As long as you got a good heart and you're helping people, I don't give a rat's ass what you do. As long as that's your basis, then you're in like Flynn. You know, I got no problem with you.
Right.
Is there anything else you would like to ask, Andrina?
I'd like to see us going out ghost hunting and things like here in Scotland. Like we only go to local places and a couple of like castles and things. What is the chances of us here in Scotland, doing a couple of videos running into an actual demon that wants to harm us. What is the chances?
That's actually a good question. It depends how much blood and mayhem was caused at the scene. Okay,
Right.
like Vladimir's castle, for instance. Okay, I know that's not
Yeah,
there, but
Bailments.
it's just
I know.
what popped in my head. All the blood, the carnages, the sacrifice, the crucifixions, all that blood has stained the earth, stained the elementals. It's tainted the ground. Okay. Well, just as good spirits will walk around on holy ground, bad spirits will walk on tainted ground because they're stronger there than they are on neutral ground or holy ground, right?
Right.
So depending if the land is tainted, you're going to have a better chance of running into one if one is there. Okay.
Right.
But
that kind of leads me to another question then. See, people like this, I've been told that there's higher ranks of demons, like see a serial killer. The chances he's going to be, obviously he's not got to go to heaven, but he's got to go to the opposite direction. So I don't even know the person's exact words, but that person has got a likely chance that they could turn into some sort of demon because of the things they've done. Is that kind of true? Like, because they've done so much bad things, will they have a higher demon rank?
It's kind of true. The head demon is what makes demons, okay? And he likes to take human souls and twist them into demons just to piss off the person that created them, okay?
Right.
So if someone's nasty, they're there. Yeah, he could, if he wanted to, do that. However, 99 times out of 100, that's not what happens. What happens is that person ends up, he can't move on because there's no resolution. So as the years go by, he gets angry, and eventually he becomes a twisted human. Okay. Which is the equivalent of a demon. Okay, but it's not a demon. It's equivalent of a demon. And in some ways worse. Because by that time, he's lost all humanity, if he had any in the first place. But he still has his drive. He still has freedom of choice, which is the key with the human spirit. Because with the human spirit, you always have the freedom of choice, right? So that's the danger right there. And plus ambition. Those three things will always stay with the human soul. So now where you go in case of where a demon's infesting a place, okay, you know that the demons come from point A to point B, now he's at point C, because a demon has to follow orders. It's going to do doom, 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 right? A twisted human, on the other hand, can change his mind in a heartbeat. He'll go from point A, you think he's going to point B, and he skips right around and goes straight to C and then back to B because he has freedom of choice. So they're really hard to predict what their next move is going to be, which is really hard for people like me and other people that have to deal with their crap.
Right, so basically you're saying that a twisted human is like somebody that can do anything they want, right?
Yeah.
But a demon is a soldier and he's following his orders.
Right.
And he can't break for that. He's got to do something. He's been sent a mission and he has to do it.
He has to do what he's told. He has to do his mission. Because in the demon it's ranked. Your 7th level down to the 1st level, right? And 7th level being the highest.
Yes.
Okay, now that's not written in stone, anybody. That's the way I believe. For 51 years, I've been dealing with it. In our belief system, there's 7 levels. Now, there could be 5 or 6 different kinds on level 1. There could be 5 or 6 different kinds on level 7, but they're all ranked with the power of what they have. Not necessarily what they are, but what they can do.
Because you might have the demons that basically all they can do is just make you feel depressed.
Right.
But then you'll have ones that can make you do things. And then you'll have ones that can possess you.
Yeah, and then you have
and so on. A
7th liner could just come in a building and rip a whole bunch of people apart and leave, and all it would look like is a shadow walk through. A 7th level can do that. That's how strong they are, And that's why I tell people, don't go in, investigators. I always tell investigators, don't go in taunting demons.
I don't know why some people do that.
People do that, and I'm like, seriously? Look at You go in there and you hear, oh no, I got 3 bangs, I got 3 scratches. If you seriously think a demon is going to stop by giving you 3 little scratches on your back, you're on crack. Okay.
I've always said a demon's not going to stop and perform on YouTube for you. It's going to wait till you're halfway home and then do something really random that nobody's going to even know was attached.
Well, see what happens. Here's what happens. They say, oh, I got attacked by a demon because I got scratched. No. See, what happened was you came into my house. I'm living here. I'm the ghost that's been here for 750 years. This place, in my vision, is whatever I want it to be. You come in my door and tell me, get up, do this, do that, do this. And I'm trying to watch football on my ghost TV. Okay. And I'm drinking a beer and you're pissing me off.
Right.
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go, oh, yeah. I forgot. You guys believe in demons are everywhere. Here, I'll tell you what. Bam, bam, bam. I'm going to knock the table 3 times really loud. And you're all going to go, ah. I'll walk up to one of you, take 3 fingers, put a scratch down your back, and they go, oh, no, a demon, and run out of the house. I go back to my couch, put my feet back on, drink my beer, and continue watching my football game.
Yep.
Okay, that's what happens. All right. If it's a demon, okay, first of all, if he wants to make contact with you then and there, he will throw you through a wall. He will toss you out a window from the 2nd story. He will break your arm. He's not going to be gentle with you. Okay, he's not going to stop at 3 little scratches. What the hell would he even bother moving his arm for that? He's going to slap you in the head and you're going to go flying 20 feet. Now you got a problem because now you got his attention.
That's what I was just about to say.
You got his attention. You pissed him off. And he's got, 40 billion years of time to get even with you. Okay, he'll follow you your entire life. Cause car accidents, cause you to get all kinds of shit trouble all the time. He's not going to possess you because then he can be pushed off you. But he's going to be around you and cause shit for you forever on his own time. And then when you die, guess who's going to be waiting there? You better have a quick elevator to get up because he'll be waiting there. So taunting a demon, stupid.
I mean, you see it in TV. I mean, you see this Ghost Adventures and that's Zach Bagans.
Yeah, but
he's one of the biggest celebrities out there for that.
I'll never say anything bad about anybody's investigation ways. Hey, you're free to do what you want.
Yeah.
And I never cut people down. I'm only here to build them up if I can. Okay.
Yeah.
However, you got to remember that TV, and this goes for anything, not just paranormal. TV is there for ratings and making money. So they're going to have to make things a little more exciting. They have to make a little more bigger drama or whatever, because that's how they make the money. That's how they do it, right? Well, a lot of these paranormal investigators, they get a lot of really good evidence, a lot of true evidence or whatever. But every once in a while, the producer's going to say to them, look, you got to do something this episode because we didn't have nothing for 3 or 4 episodes other than your normal investigation. Now, are they happy that they have to do it? No. Are they forced to do it? Yeah. Are they just canceled? Simple as. If they don't have the ratings, they're gone. Right. So, I mean, like I say, don't follow TV. Just because it's on TV doesn't mean it's real.
I know.
Right.
But, I mean, there is that case you're saying about the demons making your life a living hell. Look at that case of, was it the doll? They made a movie about it. They made, 2 movies about it? Was it Annabelle?
Annabelle.
What's the one where they made the film? I ken the film's a bit stupid, if you get my drift. With the kids let out its cage, that kind of thing. The glass box. But what actually happened with that? They've got a museum for it. Have they not got it in a museum?
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere. And some boy come up and he says, I'm no scared of you. Did you hear about that? I'm no scared of you, and grabbed it. And then he was there with his girlfriend, and on the way home, the 2 of them get killed in a motorbike accident.
Yeah. Halfway home.
And I bet he was waiting when they died.
He was waiting for it, yeah. You gotta, like I say, they're not friendly, And a lot of these things, like Annabelle, for instance, she done a lot of bad crap. I know this for a fact. and I know what she can and can't do, and I know what she is. Okay, now with the movie, they added a couple things or whatever just to make it a little more thing.
Oh, of
I'll
course.
tell you what,
Money.
yeah, but I'll tell you what, you don't want to be messing with her. Okay,
No. I've
she,
heard
she can
people
do
that
it.
have been to the museum
You
and seen
know,
it.
in the movie, they added some stuff in the movie, which I will admit that they did add a few things in the movie, but it's not that she couldn't do it. She probably just didn't think of it. You know,
Is it a demon that possessed her?
yeah.
What level would you say? A 4? A 5?
Around there, 4 or 5. Like Jenny, she's a 4.
What happened with the priest? Was it something that happened with a priest? He was driving home, he looked in his mirror and he seen something and he
Yeah,
crashed.
oh yeah, a couple priests, not just one. I mean, 4 or 5 of them. Once they got near her, they kept getting visions of death, and they kept getting visions of, well, like you'd see a zombie sitting in the back of your
Aye.
car. The
Aye.
hat rotted. Um,
Aye.
but I mean, basically drove them nuts. Until they. It took a long time for them to get rid of that attachment, to get rid of that that thing. But yeah, they hallucinated. One, every time he thought he spoke, a bunch of flies would come out of his mouth, and he'd see them. They weren't really there, but
So
in
you
here,
think? So you actually think yourself, Danny? I mean, you get these people that are like in institutions because they're mad, but are they really mad?
mm-hmm.
Have they got an attachment like that? See, where people are like, oh my god, I'm covered in beasties, and they actually will put them in straitjackets because they're
Yeah.
hurting themselves.
But it could be a spiritual attack.
Is that spiritual attachment?
Yeah.
Instead, they fill them full of drugs and shoving them in a cell.
Yeah, and that's the danger of messing with demons, okay? Because they'll make you see things, they'll make you feel things to the point where you end up taking yourself out.
Hey,
and
Sheriff.
that's their plan. Their plan is to twist your mind enough that you commit suicide, and now guess who belongs to you.
My niece came to the door, sorry.
Oh,
Like
that's
all demons are soul collectors, okay? So if they can
Aye.
make you take yourself out, you're theirs.
So even if you get, right, say I'm possessed, right, even if I get rid of that demon, right, and even I go to church every Sunday and I do my best, I take it that demon's still got to be waiting on me.
Not if you've got rid of him. Not if he's been cast away. But that's the thing, and that's what people don't understand. If a demon is attached to you and you get it off of you, you're free forever.
Then he goes to look for somebody else.
Okay, because now you've been branded. Okay.
Right, stay
so
away
the
from
next
them.
demon that comes along is going to look, and he's going to see that brand that you were possessed before. So he'll do one or two things. He'll go, well, there's no point going after him because he'll just do the same thing, get rid of me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or he'll say, okay, so I'm going to come back and make him think I'm the first one, so he feels less help, like he even has less power to fight me, right? So those are your two options. It's either going to pretend to be the first one so that you feel that it wasn't successful, so you feel even less helpless,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Or it's just going to go not worth it, right? And go after somebody else. But that particular demon, once you removed him, you have a mark against him. Like the angels will put. This is my belief only, so don't get mad. But I believe
he's marked.
I believe the angels stamp you. Okay, well, you'll never see. It's flip, and so that demon's name's been tagged as being beaten by you. So now you're.
Do you think he gets in trouble for all his other demon friends for being cast out of some days if you know what I mean?
No,
he gets around.
I don't think they give a shit, really. They probably get together at the bar, have a drink, say, well, that was a fun ride, Like
I suppose in a way, like guys like you that get rid of them and that, you'll be a target. They'll be like, sitting there, like, oh look, there he's there. Let's get him.
I don't know.
Or they're just going to leave you alone because they know that you'll come after them. One of the two.
I don't usually have a problem with them, whatsoever. I'm sorry, I just.
But you told us before this that your house is holy ground. So basically,
like they can't come here, you know.
They
And
can't.
when I go out, I'm with Astro. Astro comes with me wherever I go.
Mhm.
And, you know, and then Shakara, his wife, and then I got like hundreds of other spirits that watch over me all the time.
Mhm.
So I'm not really too concerned with it, you know. I had my the last job we did. The Shelly, she went with us on one of the jobs that we had to do to investigate, find out what was in this place.
Yeah.
Tell you that. Anyway, it was funny because when we came in, I looked and I saw them. There was three demons sitting right on the stairs, right? And I'm like, okay, that's unusual. Why are there three here, right?
Mm.
Because that doesn't happen unless somebody else is in charge of them, right?
Mm.
So I'm looking at this and I went, okay, so these are just dogs. They're not the master, right?
Mm.
So, and the funny part was everybody else felt it. Everybody else knew they were there. Like everybody else went, I guess. But I wanted to see who was in charge. So I decided, I screwed it. I walked down the stairs and go in between them. Okay? So I walked through them. And one of them bumped me. I physically felt my arm go like this, right? Now here's me in my mental state, you know, because I'm nuts. I don't know what it is. I turned my head.
I'm the same.
I turned my head and I looked right at him and I said, "You try that again, I'm going to choke slam your ass straight to hell." And I turned and I kept walking. Right? Well, then I found out the real guy in charge, whatever, and that's another part of the story. But anyway, when I start coming back upstairs, I said, "Wow, it feels a lot better in here. Whatever you did, those three are gone." I said, "Yeah, they'll be back though, but they just don't like me very much, you know." And so then the lady says to me, "Okay, this is the part that cracked up everybody in the place." The lady says to me, "says Can you help me check out my daughter's room because she keeps seeing stuff in there?" I said, "Sure, no problem." So I went in there. Well, her and Shelly went in first, and they made like a wall. I can see past them, obviously. So anyway, the lady turns around. So my daughter got this doll and gave it to Shelly, and Shelly turned it to me, and I jumped back about 1.5 foot. Went, holy shit! That is the ugliest thing I ever saw. Why would you do that to me, right? And yeah, no, not a word of a lie. It scared the crap out of me. This stupid doll, eh? Well, everybody starts laughing. I says, "What's so funny?" And they say, "You just walk through three demons like nothing, but a doll's gonna make you piss yourself." Well, yeah, but that's not.
I don't like them either. I don't like dolls either.
With the facts, you know. Don't confuse with the
It's
facts.
the same
That's
as clowns.
scary, you know. So
I hate clowns. I've got this thing about clowns. I just don't like them.
yeah, clowns and dolls for me.
Aye, I think it's
A
to
clown
be
doll
honest
is
with
the
you.
worst.
Aye, I think it's because when I was younger, I sort of watched the film Act,
Same film.
and that done it for me. And that done it for ever since then.
I've not watched a film that scared me
I
yet.
saw the original one too. I watched the first one too, and ever since then, I didn't like them either. You know, so yeah.
I don't remember the name of the film that used to scare me. It was with Donald Sutherland in it. It was a wee girl with a yellow rain jacket.
Is that not the one that was in Italy and Venice?
Aye, that used to
was
scare
that?
me. Only that bit at the end where the wee lassie turned around and she was like a wee old woman.
Mm-hmm.
I hated that bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but like no, everybody has something that they are. I don't care who you are. Everybody has a base fear of something.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what it is. I mean, it could be a piece of cabbage for all I know, but there's something that's at the core of everybody.
My friend is baked beans. She's absolutely petrified of
You know,
baked beans.
People are terrified of weird crap, but everybody has a core fear, right? Everybody, and that's what makes you human. You got to have a core fear and a core belief.
Aye.
Right? So that way you're going to know both good and bad. So every human being has one thing, and if they say they don't have a core fear, they're full of crap, because every human being has one core fear and one thing they believe 100%. Right? That's what makes you human. Without that, you couldn't be human.
Mm-hmm.
That's very true.
You know? Because, like I said, the human soul has freedom of choice. Well, if you don't have something that terrifies you and something that makes you feel really good, where's your choice?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So, and Gina, do you have any questions for Danny?
See, in order for us to keep going out ghost hunting, and maybe any precautions you could give us to keep safe, so that nothing like demons or higher levels of darkness can follow us.
Well, yeah. There's a few things you can do. First of all, when you start going on adventures, especially when you're brand new at it, go in the daytime. Because I'll tell you what, spirits don't care about the time of day. If the spirits are there, they're going to be there. Whether it's daytime, nighttime, they could care less. Okay. So why should you go stumble around in the dark and fall in the hole, break your leg, and be stuck there with no one to find you and take you home? You know what I mean? Never mind the spirits. What if you trip over something and break your damn leg? You know? So go in the daytime, you know? And also, when you first start out, you want to go during the daytime. You want to test all your equipment, get comfortable with your equipment, get used to your equipment. Then maybe after a while, you start going in the evening if you want to. And then, once in a while, do a night investigation, right? But the thing is, always go to wherever you're going to investigate during the daytime first.
Right.
Around.
Yes.
Make sure you know if there's any holes. Make sure if something might roll off a shelf and knock you upside the head. They got to check out that you're physically safe.
Right.
Okay. Then spiritually prepare yourself however you feel. Some people pray before they go. Some people meditate before they go. Some people burn the candles. Some people sage. It's your belief.
And Gina sages quite a lot.
Yeah, like if I tell you what to do, okay, if I tell you what to do, it's not going to do anything for you if you don't believe it.
Right.
Right. So do what makes you feel like you're protected. Ask your ancestors, please come with me. Make sure nothing bad comes.
That's what I do. I light up my altar and ask my spirit guides and my ancestors to protect us, and just to guide in good spirits only.
What's that?
I find the prayer to St. Michael's a good one. I say it inside my head.
Aye,
that's
even that, Chris.
Because, and then before I come away from the place, it doesn't matter where we are, I say, you're not allowed to come home, man.
Aye, don't follow us home.
You've got to get permission. And I think that's what you have to put that out there.
Luna says, Danny, tell him about his spirit in his house, Chris's house.
Oh, you talking about? I must say, Danny. See, Luna, she's amazing. I mean, honestly,
aye, Luna's brilliant.
I hadn't told her soul, Danny, about what was in my house. I ken about it. I've kennt about it for a long time because folk have told me. They said, "Oh, I've seen an old man with a hat, cane, and all that kind of stuff," and I had never told anybody. Of course, the other night, Luna, she's like, "There's a man standing behind you with a cane and a hat." And
yeah.
But he's never done me any harm.
No, I never will either.
He's your friend now, isn't he?
Hang on. What?
Is his friend now? Chris is his friend now.
Hang on. He's been there for 40 years. You guys have got along great so far, so why worry?
Do you kind of? Can you see him?
Mm-hmm.
Where is he?
I can see him.
Is he behind me?
Yeah. Well, actually, there's a little white switch on the wall. He's kind of. He's right there because every once in a while it goes dimmer and darker, depending on whether he moves. That little white spot gets brighter or darker.
Sweet, you should say that because last night I was lying in my bed. I was fiddling about setting up YouTube things and that, and I looked out and I thought, Ken, it's darker than usual. But I never thought about it because I've got like a leather chair sits in the corner, and see, because Lunar told me, no, I'm not that. He says you can sit in the chair if you want. I'm going to watch YouTube.
Because you've started speaking to him.
I think it's a good thing speaking to him because I feel sorry.
Oh yeah, I know.
It must be terrible.
You know what? I talk to spirits all the time. I mean, I'll be walking downtown and I'll be talking and somebody, being a dick or whatever, go, "Hey," I go, "What? You always talk to yourself?" And then I look at him and says, "Yeah, only when I want a conversation that's intelligent." And then I keep walking. But, whatever I want an intelligent conversation, I do, and I just keep walking.
You couldn't tell me. You couldn't do something for me, could you? You couldn't ask him what his name is.
What's that?
What's his name? What's his name?
Robert.
Really?
Yeah. Robert what? O'Connelly?
Wait a minute, I just need to take something.
O'Connell?
Hmm. O'Connelly or O'Connor or
All right. It's been interested to find out for years.
So what was that there? Sorry, I had to go and take that there. What was that? It's Robert Platt.
it's either Robert O'Connelly or O'Connor, but heavy, heavy, heavy. I just can't hear him 100% right now because I don't know him that well, right?
Aye, aye. He's well. I can honestly say this. He's never ever
Hi,
done us
Robert.
any harm. He's hey Robert. He's never done us any harm. In fact, I would say he's looked after us.
Mm-hmm. As soon as you said hi, Robert, the whole area in the back lit right up and then went dim again.
Yeah.
Is he there all the time? I take it he goes away.
No, he
places.
goes all over the place. He's just
That's all right.
being nosy.
Because he knows you're talking about him, he's back.
And that's like, and that's the other thing. Okay, people always say, "Oh, can you see all?" No, I can't see all the spirits. Don't be ridiculous. You know, I see the ones that want me to see them. I can hear the ones that want me to hear them. But if they don't want to pay attention to me, they don't. Like, who am I? I'm nobody, right? And I don't go around looking for them to pay attention to them either. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something that you do. I mean, you wouldn't go to a mall and, hey, everybody, look at me. Hey,
No,
but you're not going to do that, right? Well, spirits don't do that either.
Here's one. I've got one saying I'm kind of creeped out a wee bit, but I'm not really creeped out because it's all right. I've got a question for you. Is there any standing behind him, Drina?
Yay!
What's that?
I was expecting that, Christopher.
Is there anybody that's no
Stand behind me.
living? Is there anybody that's no living with Drina?
Oh, I don't know.
Because that's my curtain behind me. That's my window.
And first, I don't know, and second, it's not my business. You know, I don't trespass.
That's very true. But
You know?
I'm glad
If
that
you
I
sense
can
anything around about me, you can tell me, but I don't mind.
Maybe once I get to know you or something, because I just don't feel comfortable.
Okay, no problem.
You know, it's just not. It's not polite. You know, it's just it's not polite.
That's
I must
fine
admit,
with me.
I do notice things sometimes. See when I'm sitting there and I've got my TV right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what it is. I'll be sitting, I'll be watching like a film. I was watching The Last Jedi the other night, the new Star Wars movie. And I was sitting there and I was watching it and I had a terrible feeling that somebody was sitting there watching it with me.
Yeah, you know, when I'm alone in the house and if I'm watching something on YouTube and I'm not dressed or whatever, you know, I'll be sitting there like this because I just got out of the shower, so I'm waiting to dry, you know, to put my JJs on, and I'll be like, grab a towel. This is what I feel right here.
It's quite comical. Yeah, I mean, you would wonder what the deal with it. I mean, obviously it doesn't stay here. Obviously it goes out and it walks about.
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, I got to deal with all the spirits that come here, all of them.
Aye.
You don't go in my bedroom,
Aye.
and you don't go in my bathroom. That's it.
Aye.
Anywhere else, feel free to go anytime you want. So then when I'm sitting here, right, I'm like, okay, yeah, you have permission. Give me my towel, you know.
But see if you say to him, right, for instance, say I want to go to my bed, right, and I say, this is my time to, will you leave me alone? Will you go away?
Oh no, he likes it there.
No. No, what I mean is,
You probably
if I-
respect
no,
your wishes for 10 minutes.
I'm like, I'm going to bed now. This is my time now. I'm going to bed.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Stairs
no,
or something like that. I mean, do that
yeah.
kind of thing.
If you say to him, I'm going to bed now, so I don't want no company, you know, and be polite about it, he'll toddle off and do whatever he wants to do, you know.
Aye.
Yeah, they're very, very respectful. I mean, if you say to a spirit, you can't go in the bathroom if I'm in there.
Mhm.
You can't
See,
go in
Gunnar-
my bedroom if I'm going to sleep, you know.
Yes.
And they are more than happy to comply with that. You know, they're not gonna step across that line.
Luna says to me there was a woman too, but I think that's my grandmother.
Yeah.
And she comes to visit. I suffer from certain ailments. I suffer from terrible pain in my face. It's called neuralgia, and I am sure somebody came to see me one night when I wasn't well, and I'm sure it was her.
Well,
You know.
I am too. You know why? Because you believe so.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to trust yourself. I mean, that's the main thing in life. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you People ask you questions or people will say something. They already know the answer. Okay, they know the answer,
Mhm.
but they're afraid of the answer, right?
Nah.
Well, if you're asking the question, you already know the answer 99 times out of 100,
Oh,
right?
look, I can know that when I die, I'll see them again.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I see when I lost my grandmother, I'll admit to you on YouTube and all that. When I lost my grandmother, I was devastated. I wasn't into the paranormal whatsoever.
Right.
Nope. Right, I was not into it,
Mhm.
and I was devastated. I had a nervous breakdown. Right,
Okay,
but then I
honeybee.
get into this. Right, and see now, it's as
Hi,
if a load's
honeybee.
been taken off my. Helen, honeybee. It's as if a load's been taken off my shoulders. It's as if I know it's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fine, and I'll see her again. I can. She's dead, obviously. Right, she's floating about somewhere, right? But I'll live my life, but I'll see her again. So
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
I'm just thinking she's away on holiday. I'll see her again.
Guaranteed.
See?
That's one of my beliefs. Um, Again, it's my
See you,
belief.
honeybee.
Whatever you believe in life is what's going to happen in death.
Yes.
If you believe in heaven, you're going to heaven. If you believe you can wander around and visit all your relatives, that's what you're going to do.
Well, that's what I do.
If you believe you're going
I
to sleep
believe.
and that's the end of it, well, then that's what you're
Well,
going to do.
as a thing I was told a long time ago, I tell Andrina this, when my grandfather was dying, he had pancreatic cancer, getting it awfully painful. And he was in my grand's house, that was his wife. Before he died, I kid you not, before he died, he says, "My mother came last night to visit me, and she's coming for me tonight."
There you
And
go.
everybody's like, "Ah, nah, it's the morphine, it's the morphine." That's what that is. He died that night at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah. Oh yeah, everyone knows. They tell you if you're there, they'll tell you this is what's happening. That was one of the experiences I had too. I was quite young when Nana died, and Granddad. Granddad died, then a few years later, Nana died. Uh, that was a very very tough time for me too. Because they're pretty much everything. So.
Aye. But you'll see them again. That's the
Oh yeah.
great thing about it. You'll see them again. Getting then when we die,
Well,
somebody will miss us. Get what I mean? It'll just be your turn to visit them. And
uh,
over and over and over and over.
I'll tell because you invite me on the show. I'll tell you this experience.
Ah.
Normally, I don't talk about this, but
Ah.
my granddad and I we used to hang out and do stuff, and I'd take him out for a drink or whatever, and I'd spend a lot of time with him. Well, anyway, he was in the hospital, and we knew his time was coming. So I was sitting there with him, and I think it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And he says, "Well, Danny boy," he says, "it's time for me to go. I gotta get going." I says, "Where are you going?" He says, "Oh, I'm sorry." I was thinking ahead of time. He says, He says, "It's time for me to go." He says, "To leave this world, I have to go to our heaven." And I said, "Oh, okay." He says, "Yeah." He says, "I want to get there." He says, "Because I want to build a nice house and have everything ready for when when Nana comes." And I'm trying not to tear up and stuff. And I said, "Okay." He says, "But you got to promise me one thing before I go." And I said, "What's that, Granddad?" And he says, "Next time you take someone out for coffee, make sure she's prettier than me." and, uh, and I said, "I promise, Granddad." And then he laid his head down, and 5 minutes later, he was gone. Just poof, gone. And I'm like, wow. But I never told anybody that. That was something I thought of. That's for me, and I couldn't talk about it anyway because it affects me.
Aye.
So then a little bit later goes by, and it's Nana's turn. And I go there, and she says, "Come here, dear." So I go over, and she holds my hand. She says, "I know you don't like it, Danny." She says, "But it's time for me to go. I have to go now." And I says, "Nana, yeah, I don't want you to go, but I understand. If you got to go, you got to go."
Nah.
And she says, it's okay. It's okay. I says, why? She says, well, Granddad's here. She says, Jim's here. And he's standing here and he's got his hand out. He's waiting for me. And he says to tell you the home is built and everything is ready.
There you go.
And I never told anybody that. And so all of a sudden her breathing slows down and that. And I says, I'd like to see you leave if that's all right. Right. So so then I look up and there's Granddad and there's Nana. And they're young and they're healthy looking and they're holding hands. And they both look at me and they smile. They say, we love you, Danny boy, you know. And they turned and they went through this big archway. It had all kinds of flowers and everything hanging on it. You know? And they walked through the archway. Just as they got to the other side, they turned and then the light went like that. And
that'd be amazing.
that was one of the
As,
that was one of the most wonderful things I ever seen.
Right. It's got to be the most special thing ever.
it's
But
it's a sad thing, death. Yeah, I was with my grandmother when she died. I mean, she had dementia. I mean, she didn't even ken who MD was in the end. I mean, see, she hadn't had the dementia. She would have lived till she was 100. She was 95.
yeah,
See, that's a
I
good
mean,
age. That's a to have lived.
As a good age. I mean, she was born in 1913.
Yeah.
And I was there when she died, and the minister guy came in. I always remember the minister guy. He was a funny guy, with a lump. And it's just how he just had this
He'd laugh
unique. It's funny because they get this minister. It was so funny. I had a border collie. I've had a lot of dogs through the years, right? And my dog one day chased him. And he actually ran away from my dog and he was limping. And every time I think about that, I just think it's so funny. But he was standing at the end of the bed and you came to the minister's day, they're like, oh yes. And I was like, oh my God, man, I felt like Dean. It was like reading something about the Bible. And she passed. You know, I was aware. But I cannot see her again.
no,
That's the thing.
that's the thing. And next time she'll be healthy again, right? So that's the thing.
Oh, aye.
Energy rejuvenates and
So here are questions. You see in the afterlife, can you stay old or can you stay young? Can you just stay what you want?
whatever you feel like it.
So
Like,
if I live to
day-
110, I can stay 110, walk about myself,
Yeah.
poking fucking
Yeah.
that.
Well, basically what happens, in my opinion, what happens is you can run up and down your own timeline to pick the happiest moment of your life.
See, that's
And
what I
then-
was told.
And then you can choose that age and that moment and be that person,
Again.
but still have all brand new experiences, right?
Mhm.
Or you could look like someone totally different, whatever you want. I mean, you're energy now, so you can take whatever form you want.
I take it when you die, you can ask for them to give you a job, can come back and help.
Well, I believe so. I believe I can't prove it, but I believe so.
I walk through the pearly gates if that's the scenario, and I say, look, listen, I want to do something. You've been awfully good to me for my life. I want to put it back.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
Did
I
they do that for
don't
you?
see why not. You know, I don't see why not.
Ah.
I think in our afterlives we can do whatever the heck we want. You know, that's my belief. We can go where we want. We can be who we want. We can do what we want. And unless you're a negative person, then you're stuck
No.
doing negative crap.
But
Right?
you feel sorry for folk like that. You do feel sorry because they're never going to experience
Yeah.
You don't have to
the
answer
beautifulness.
this, but do you feel as if there's a God as such or many gods?
I believe there's a God. I believe there's one God that's in charge, but I believe there's a bunch of other gods. But they work for him, right? But yet at the same time, they control their own people. They do their own belief system. They do their own.
Right.
And I also believe that the one God can be, if he wants to be Zeus, or he can be Athena, or he could be, you know what I mean? Because God is going to appear to you, and I don't care which religion you look at, it says God was made in our own image, right? Well, the image is going to be whatever you believe our image is, right?
Right.
So if you
There are
think
people
he's
that
got to be
believe
Buddha,
the horse mother is the
yes.
supreme being. Well,
Right.
guess what? The horse mother is the supreme being, right? Guess what? Because God can be whatever God wants to be. He's kind of in charge of that.
That's the thing I've always said. God, I don't think God looks like him. I think he's just energy. He's always existed and he always will exist. But I
No,
think if you think he's an old man with a big white beard,
The
when you
human
die,
brain
you'll
can
see
put
that.
him in an image, into an image, isn't it? The human brain always searches for an image to recognise him.
yeah, I believe God is going to be whatever you're most comfortable seeing.
Right.
Okay, I believe that because God wants you to be at peace and happy, right? So if you believe your deity is a horse, you're going to see a horse. If you believe your deity is going to be an old man with a beard, guess what? If you believe that God is going to turn out actually to be a female, guess what? You know, like God, you know, he's bigger than us. I mean, if we can imagine it. Okay, here's the thing. People say, well, you know, he doesn't do this or he doesn't do that. But if we forgive something, he forgives it.
Right.
If we can imagine it, it can become, right? So what we believe and what we imagine that gives us peace, he allows, as long as we're respectful to him.
Yes.
You give respect, you get respect. It's a simple concept, really.
Right.
I know how you said about the souls that have got twisted and that, but what happens if in the very end, they stand before God and they go, "I'm sorry, can I have forgiveness?" Will God
I
say,
think so.
Genuinely sorry. He would know.
Like I've dealt with some really nasty, twisted humans that there was nothing I could do for them but banish them, basically. You know, you can't kill them, but you can banish them. So I banished them. But there was one that was not twisted yet, but damn close to it. And it took a while and a lot of work, but we resolved some issues. Then the more issues resolved, the lighter and lighter he became till he was able to go somewhere else, right? So yeah, can they be redeemed? Certainly, anybody can be redeemed. That's why we have the Redeemer, right?
Yes.
And now it's nothing that I did. Oh, you know, I didn't do squat except sit there to listen and repeat what I heard in my ear. You know, I'm just a hammer in a toolbox. That's all I am. I didn't do squat, but I just was allowed to be a speaker to connect, you know, to try to help out. I was given the honor of being there to translate, you know, between the
But
two.
you've helped him cross. So he's probably happy now. He's probably floating about.
Oh
He's
yeah,
probably met his
I've
relatives.
actually seen him. I've actually seen him. It took about 3 months, and then he came. Astro brought him here, and he came in and said thank you, and it was really moving. You know, he came and said thank you and everything else. And like I told him, I said, look, it's not me you got to thank. You did the work, right? You're the one that did the work, and the angels and the powers that be helped you get to where you were, right?
I take it Astral's your spirit guide. Right.
Oh, he's more like my brother, but yeah. We're more like brothers. He never tells me what to do. Astro will never tell me what to do. And I will never tell him what to do because he could squash me like a grape.
So, and was he, I take it he was like a human spirit like us at one point?
No, he's an elemental. He's a fire elemental.
Oh.
Astro is very, 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 very old. He took an interest in me because when I first saw him, he was taking the form of a gargoyle watching me drown. And so I called him a butthead. Well, you know, you butthead. And he chuckled. He thought that was hilarious. And next thing you know, these two wolves pulled me out of the water, and this is how it all started for me. They pulled me out of the water, and my uncle and my father come running down because they seen these wolves with me. And by the time they got to the creek, the wolves looked up at them, looked back at me, and poof, they ran down the beach. And we have white sand, a white sand beach. Now, you know, if something makes a mark on that beach, it ain't disappearing, right?
No.
Until something physically moves it. Well, they came down and asked me, "Are you okay? You okay?" And I said, "Yeah." The
Oh, well, yeah.
I came down and these wolves pulled me out, right?
Hmm.
And I look up and Astro's just busted a gut laughing. I said, "Will you shut up?" You know, and he thought that was funny too, right? Now, of course, I didn't know what he was or how strong he was. I didn't care. You know, it was just another thing. You know, like I treat everybody the same.
Yeah.
So anyway, then they looked and they saw the wolf tracks and they're watching it. And as their eyes were following the wolf track, the tracks vanished. And when it got to the wolves stopped, turned, they both looked back, and then they were gone. Like they just
Yeah.
gone, just vanished, right? And that's when they started. Oh, look at he's a nature druid. He's a nature. No. He's a nature shaman because the animals came with the exchange. No. He's a nature druid because the trees are talking to him and the water saved him. And so for months,
Aye.
right? Oh no, he's got to be a nature. No, he's got to be a nature shaman. No, he's got to be a nature druid. And I'm like, oh, shut up. I'll do both.
So here's a question for you. It's an interesting question. Who created them? I take it God.
What's that?
Did God create Astral, the beings, or were they already here? You
That's
get my
above my
drift?
pay grade. That's way above my pay grade. I don't know.
There you go. There's an interesting.
I can tell you this.
Term there,
I can answer it this way. Okay, this is how I can answer it. Okay, but that is way above my pay grade. But anyway, the only answer I can give you is Astro says, and he said this to me years ago, and he still follows it. He says there's only 4 people, 3 of which who I will listen to, and 1 I'll take very seriously what they say. Okay, into account. And I said, okay, Astro, who's that? He goes, Father, the Redeemer, and the Big Spirit. And I looked at him and I said, okay. He says, them I listen to. I said, who's the other one? He goes, Death. Right?
So death does exist then?
You know,
The Grim Reaper, the guy with the sheath.
Yeah, he says Death. And I says, why do you listen to Death? And his answer, because he's as old as I am. Right? So, and he was serious what he was talking about, eh? So he said, those are the only people I listen to. They're the only ones that tell me what to do.
Right.
He says, anybody else, he says, I don't give a crap what they want. I do what I want, you know.
So what does he look like? Can he take any form? Anything?
Oh yeah. Normally he looks, when he's really pissed off, like when he's mad, he looks a lot. Well, the only thing I can describe it to, if you picture the Ghost Rider, but with a red cloak and hood.
Yeah.
But it's not like a cloak. It goes all around him, you know, and you can see his hands and everything's on fire. Okay, even the cloak when he's pissed off. He likes to run around with a skull face, you know, and
That would terrify me. Can you imagine waking up to that?
That's his most common look is to look like the Grim Reaper. That's his most common look. But he's also a dragon. He's been in the form of a red dragon, golden dragon. He likes that form, but basically he can take whatever form he wants. But those are his main forms. He usually looks like a Reaper of some sort. And I asked him that one time. I said, brother, can I ask you a question? He says, well, I said, why do you always look like death? And he leans forward and he says, I'll tell you what, when you go into a hospital, I said, yeah, and there's a bunch of evil shit in there. I said, yeah. Do you think they're going to be afraid of me if I look like Mr. Rogers? That's what he told me. He said, do you think they'll be afraid of me if I look like Mr. Rogers and had a sweater?
That's true.
You know, he says, I got to look scarier than they are.
My theory Santa Monica is a skeleton figure.
Is that no Mexican? Is Santa Monica no like? Is that no like Day of the Dead? Do they not have a thing called Day of the Dead? Where they worship that kind of thing? Is it?
Not really them. It's not really. It's actually 2 separate things, but It's classic. A lot of people get them mixed up.
I gotta answer history. I just seen this question. What do you do if you've done both good and bad? Who decides where you go? Well, the biggest part of that decision is yourself. If you feel justified, if you can look in the mirror and you can say to yourself, I did what I did because at the moment I thought it was what I should have done, or because I was weak at that time, but I've forgiven myself from that. But generally speaking, yeah, I like my life. I did good. I feel okay with my life. Then you're going to be in an okay place. Right? If you think I'm an asshole, I need to pay for these somehow. I gotta make restitution. Guess who's going to purgatory?
Right.
And if you say I don't deserve to live, guess who's going to the dark hole and never wake up again? You know, I think a lot of it is, in my opinion, just my opinion, that's how it works. And then the powers that be, whoever your power that be will be, in my case, it'd be God. He'd come up to me and say, have you made peace with your life? Yes or no? And I'll say no, because I'll just say no. And he'll say, okay, well, my judgment is this or that. He says, how do you feel about that judgment? And I'll say, well, I can't argue with you. It's whatever you say, you know.
You know what I have you, I'm no.
Whatever you say is going to be what it is, you know. But I think, you know, if I was in charge, and now I got to think that God's smarter than I am, you know, obviously. But if I think, okay, if a person's okay with their life and they've done this and they've done that, but they still want to improve stuff and I'm going to give them the chance. You know,
see, I'm one of these people that I had a discussion one night with friends. I'm one of these people when I get to the afterlife, I'm going to go to God and I'm going to say, listen, I can't help myself, but who made you?
Yeah.
It's a question you're going to ask, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, are we alone? Is there aliens? Is this the only world? No. Yeah. There's obviously other worlds, you know.
We're naive to think we were the only species on Earth with this intelligence or more.
But we're no intelligent. I think there's beings out there with so much intelligence they don't want to come near us because they can that we're warlike. There's Luna saying, that saying, Danny thinks that I'm here to help the spirits and teach others.
Definitely.
See, Luna, when she told me about my friend Robert here, right? It made me realise that there is life after death. It's as if it's taken. I feel lighter. I don't know how to explain it. In the last week of that, I feel kind of lighter and floater, and I'm happier.
Yeah, well,
and that's thanks to Luna.
We call that an awakening in our way. When you have an awakening,
and it doesn't scare me. That's the weird thing. No. See, about a year ago, thinking that there was a guy standing and staring at me like that would have, you know what I mean? But see now, when I went out the house the day, I locked the house up, and before I locked it, I went, look after the house, and I shut the door and walked out.
Hugs, Beth. Yeah, no. Hey, Sheriff.
Hey, Sheriff.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Sheriff.
In the chat. Beth, Luna, Shelley.
Hi, anyone
Hello, everybody. He's like
I'm not reading chat, everybody, but when someone's talking to me, even when they're on camera, I look in their eyes on the screen. I don't look in the camera. I look at their eyes in the screen, so I'm not really paying attention to chat. Sorry.
I'm the same. I'm the same because I'm interviewing you. It's like I try and read the chat. But I'm not fascinated. I'm not fascinated with the subject. I can't stop staring. If you know what I mean. You know. So here's a question for you.
Okay.
And this has got. I'm a pet lover. Right? I've had dogs throughout my years. I lost the dog about 6 years ago. She was my best friend. I mean, she was everything to me. And I've got a new one now. I've got another collie. Her name's Jessie. She's probably outside my room door as we speak. Did they go somewhere?
Oh, yeah.
Did they? Yeah, I take it you'll see them again.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Look, my best answer for that is every faith has the same story. You know, like I've studied a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But if you want to know if the animals get to heaven, then why would the lion lie down with the lamb? Why would the bear be led by a child in heaven if they don't go to heaven?
Yes.
Right? Of course, animals go to heaven. They got souls.
Yeah, because they've got a soul.
You know, trees go to heaven, as far as I'm concerned. But in the Bible, it even talks about animals in heaven. So, and they got unicorns and Pegasus. That's an added bonus.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about that.
So
That's
do you
right.
think there
My
really
God,
is
this is
unicorns then?
What's that?
Do you think there really is unicorns then?
Me? Sure, why not? How hard is it? How hard is it to conceive that the hair off of a wild steed, okay, of any male or female steed, wild steed, the front part of the mane curled and became horn. That's really, really solid. You know what I mean? Like, how hard is that to believe? You can go up to a horse and you can curl the front of his hair up, and it will look like a unicorn. And you just put some spray starch on it, and away you go. You know. But I mean, who's to say the hair didn't at one time? Who's to say it didn't grow that way? And with evolution, right? Like, look at evolution. The alligator's still the same that it was a billion years ago.
Yes.
Right? But it's come down in size because there's not as much territory. You know, whatever. It's adapted to the ways.
Same as the
All the
birds.
birds have all transformed. Look at all these others. Who's to say back then that was its main way of defending itself, like a rhinoceros or something?
Right.
Like a rhinoceros has two horns, right?
That's right.
So who's to say that back then, you know, and as generations went by, you know, they lost the horn. I mean, who knows? Because they didn't need no more. You know?
Well, true.
There's Lunar saying, and fairies. Fairies will be real too.
Yeah, well, I'm
Fairies are
Celtic.
definitely real.
I'm Celtic, so I believe in them from birth. But I got, if you watch one of my cinemas, you can actually see them on the cinema. Some people have seen them.
Is that on your channel, eh?
Yeah.
I'll have a watch then.
Yeah,
We'll look at
on the channel when I was at
Was the link up for his channel?
I've put the link up quite a few times. I've put it up this time.
It was at McVickers, and we were looking over the bridge.
It's up.
And we heard singing. Right, we're hearing this singing, and it was really hypnotic and I don't know, ghostly, hypnotic, you know. So we started filming, and then you could see the water rapids all going. But in this one spot where the water was really calm, there were circles going in, and then figure eights and whatever, and you could see this little thingy going around, and then up in the trees there was a couple. And a lot of the YouTubians, you know, that's why I call my followers my YouTubians. My YouTubians, a lot of them mentioned that, hey, I saw it too. It's plain as day, you know, that they've seen it too. And they tell you exactly where to look. So if you watch it, they'll tell you exactly where to look. Now, like I say, it's up to you whether you believe it or not. I don't give a rat's ass either way. But as far as I'm concerned, I saw them, you know. But if someone else doesn't believe, I'm perfectly okay with that. You know, it's.
I do believe there is creatures like that. I mean, just up the back from my house, there's a beautiful bat. I mean, it's like a valley, and then it's got a wee stream, and then it's got beautiful oak trees that's been there for like hundreds of years. But that's not the best bit. It's the best bit's the bluebells that come out.
You know, I think we're all limited. I think we're all limited to see and feel what we believe.
Yeah.
If there's an old saying that I like to say, okay? For those that believe, no proof is necessary. For those that do not believe, no proof is possible.
That's true. That's a good one. I need to remember that.
And I think if your mind is open, and even if you don't believe, if you keep your mind open, maybe you'll surprise yourself with what you see and learn.
Well, see, since the last few years, in my mind, I can see things now. It's weird because I again, this has got to sound stupid, but I've been watching movies on the TV, right? And I'll see an orb in the background, but that's just the stage where that's been filmed, right? But you don't know what's been there before. You don't know who's died there. You don't know what's been there. But you can see a wee orb. See, the other night I was sitting in my room and I was doing something and I looked up and I'm like, what was that? I was looking all around about me and I'm sure there was a wee flashy lightning flying past me.
Yeah.
Maybe my friend Robert, I don't know. But it went flying past me.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I think it depends on what you wish to see. Yeah, there are that type too, Beth, but these ones weren't sirens per se, but they're of the same family. I mean, the sirens want destruction. They're like
Yes.
banshees. Sirens and banshees are kind of the same family.
What's the name of the wee people that are meant to live in mines? Are they golly? I know they got they're called something. They've got a unique
Tommy
name.
knockers.
Tommy knockers. That's it.
Tommy knockers, yeah.
I think it got
Aye, that's it.
They're actually Weltdruffs, but Tommy knockers
Aye.
is the most common name.
And they live in mines, don't they? They live in caves.
Mines, caves, wherever there's minerals. They're basically that's basically what they do. They manage the minerals. They're basically a spirit dimension. Now, the reason that they're called Tommy knockers is because before an accident will happen, for anyone that believes in them, right? They'll go boom, 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 5 or 6 times, and they'll do it 3 or 4 times to warn everybody to get the hell out of there.
That's right. I've heard about it. I mean,
They don't. They like there was one guy, friend of my uncle Russ, who worked in a mine, working in Chico, and they were all standing there, and he goes, "Hey guys, we got to go now." And they're like, "Why?" He says, "I just heard a Tommy knocker." And they went, "Okay." And everybody, all I had to say, "I heard a Tommy knocker," and everybody goes, "Okay." And they ran out. Everybody took off. Right?
Because I heard a story like that.
Well, they got just past up the first hail part, and there was a piece on the ceiling. Okay, it all came down in one great big piece, and it took 4 tractors to move this piece of stone.
Good.
It would have crushed about 50 people, but it just the stone just vibrated enough that it released from the ceiling, right? It came down, and I don't know. I think it was like 20 tons of stone or something like that, like just a huge amount of but it was all in one piece.
I mean, that's weird. You should just mention that. I mean, this has got nothing to do with Tommy knockers or nothing, but this is weird. I'll give you that. Now, I was thinking about my great grandfather today, and this is my father's grandfather. He was in World War One. He survived the trench warfare and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But he got home, and as you know, you're from Scotland. He got a job when after the war in the 1920s. He got a job up north near Oban.
Mm-hmm.
It's a power station that's built under the mountain. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
It's near it's like Loch Nott or something like that. But anyway, he got a job in there, and they were working away, and he was away down a passageway, and a piece of rock the size of a double-decker bus came loose and landed right on top of him, killed him.
Yep. Yep.
And I was thinking about that today. I mean, that's just weird.
That's weird, yeah. But yeah, that's how this stuff all comes to be. So, but again, see,
Is that a new link?
there,
I think Mary's put link up.
We're only limited by what we can receive. So,
Yes.
I
take it once you cross, you can see everything.
Oh yeah, I would take it. People ask me about, lots of stuff. I don't know squat.
Yes.
Like if anyone ever tells you they're professional, I'll tell you what, they're full of shit. There's no such thing as professional paranormal anything. Okay. Like I say, I've been a shaman, and I've been working as a shaman and as a nature druid 51 years now. Okay.
Yeah.
I still don't know squat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on the grand scheme of things, I don't know nothing. I learn something new from someone every day, and if I could teach someone else something new every day, that's what it's all
Yeah.
about. It's about sharing what we've experienced, sharing what
Knowledge.
we know, right? But
Knowledge.
nobody's a professional. I mean, when you're dead,
Nah.
then you can be a professional, you know, because you'll have the answers, right? But
Even then,
there's no such
even
thing
then,
as professional.
I mean, even your astral, your spirit guide, they say he's billions of years old, right?
Uh,
I bet he's no a professional yet.
you know,
I bet he's still learning.
he'll never claim it. No,
He's
he
probably
says,
not happy that I said
when
that.
you
But
ask, when you ask Astro that, if you say to Astro, oh, you're a real pro at this, he'll look at you and go, that's
Aye.
it. You know, like
aye, he's nothing compared to.
he's just says,
Liam thought he smelled smoke.
I'm like you. He says, I'm like everybody else on the planet. I know what I know. I learn what I don't know.
Just think about it in this sense: when you're an old man and you cross to the great beyond, there'll be a job waiting on you.
Yeah. Like when I die,
Along with me.
second, okay, 1 second before I'm dead and when I'm dead. For that 1 second, I'm gonna be a professional. Whoops, I'm an amateur again. I gotta learn all new shit. Right? So I mean, even in death, you're not gonna be a professional because it's a whole new ballgame.
Well, I must admit, I mean, see how people say you get guardian angels, there's Irish round about you. But I've got one. I don't know what it is. It's probably a her or she. I don't know. Obviously, I've got Robert in my house, but when you die, you want to thank the people for what they've done.
And you can.
You see what I'm trying to say?
I can't remember who it is.
Because you think about it. They're spending all their time with you.
Yeah. Well,
Everything you're doing for
I
them,
asked-
I want to thank them.
I asked
For
Astro,
everything they've done for
why
me.
don't the spirits, when you talk to spirits, I asked them, and this was like 45 years ago or something. It's a long time ago. I asked him, I said, why don't the spirits talk to you about heaven or they talk to you about whatever? And he goes, well, you can't give away the story. We're not permitted. And I said, well, why not? And he says, well, we can say heaven, we can say God, we can say evil, we can say hell, but that's it. We've got a very limited that we can talk about. I said, why is that? It's because you as an individual have to choose what you believe. We can't give you answers.
No.
Right? Because it's yours to discover.
Right.
Right. So the spirits aren't going to tell you, yeah, there is this and yeah, there is that.
That's why they don't answer when you say there are heaven and hell, isn't it? They don't answer.
I
Or
do
is there
think
a
there
God?
is some.
They don't ever answer.
I do think there is a law. Do you not think there's a law when you die? It's
Why?
as if you see all the ghost hunters, they'll have their thing out, they'll be like, and they'll no answer. It's as if they're not allowed to say it. I think they're following some law
Yeah,
in the spirit world.
They're not going to say.
There's certain things that the spirits aren't going to tell us as human beings. Just as there's certain things you're not going to tell your child about the real world.
Yes.
Because it's not time for them to learn it, and it's dangerous if they do. It's like giving a 5-year-old a loaded pistol. Why the hell are you doing that? Right? It's not safe, right? So it's not safe for us to know all the answers, but it is our job to come forth as children. Okay, and it says it even in the Bible. It says, "Well, how do we talk to the spirits? How do we talk to you?" He says, "Come forth like a child unto me." Right?
Well, this is a school.
Well, what does a child do?
Why is
the sky blue? Why is the sky blue? Why is the sky blue?
I ask questions.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
They ask questions.
You can't learn if you don't ask the questions.
Yes.
And then everybody says, "Oh, well, if you work in a paranormal or you talk to ghosts or if you do this or you do that, you're going to hell because it's evil."
Oh,
excuse me. We're told to ask questions. We're told we got our freedom of choice. We're told to explore our own faith. So how am I going to be in trouble for doing what I'm told? I mean, wake up. You can have it. You can't have it both ways, sweetheart.
I mean, I get it. I get it quite a lot. I mean, I do these shows, right? And I got a message the other night. Somebody saying, "Stop doing these shows now. You're going to hell. You better start repenting." No, I'm not.
No, I'm not going to repent for anything.
No.
Hey, and you know what? I'll tell you what. to all these people that say these things to me and that, and hey, believe me, I've had a lot worse than you know. But anyway, the day I die, I might just turn around and go, well, shit, you were right. Right? But until then, I ain't listening to a crap you say, Oh, shit, I guess I should have done that. That plan sucked. Moving on.
I must admit, it has opened my eyes something wrong. I must admit, it's opened my eyes to, like...
But how can you have... How can you have... It's a very simple question. How can you have freedom of choice if you have not studied your choices?
That's a hard one. Aye.
Right? I had my awakening when I seen Santa Marta, and I knew she was actually communicating with me. That was when I was awakening to the resurrection spiritual world.
I think, right, this is what I think. I think we're in school. I think this is our school.
There you got it. Thank you very much.
Yep.
That is exactly why we're here. Okay, we're here to learn, to help the spirits, and to help each other, and teach each other, and not necessarily paranormal, but anything else. Right? We're here to learn to be the best that we can be, for whoever we are.
Yes.
Right. I don't want someone to be me. I want them to be them. Right? If someone doesn't believe in the paranormal, hey, I applaud you. Because you believe in something else, and that's what matters. What matters to me is you do believe in something. Yeah. It's not for me to tell you what to believe or what not to believe. It is only for me to walk the path that I have chosen or has been chosen for me, and do the best I can at it. That's my thing. I have to be the best at what I can do.
So what job isn't it? Everybody says.
Do you think you can come back again? Like
Why not?
Reincarnation?
Why not?
I think so.
See, I don't. Now, that's a very good question, which I do not have the actual answer to. My brother, on the other hand, he's all into that, and my other brother is all into UFOs, so they'd be the ones to ask about that stuff.
Why don't you get them on the show?
Yeah, I 100% believe that once we pass here, our energy can do whatever it wants, and if you wanted to come back, I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. But you'd come back. Like the way I look at reincarnation is, when you come back as someone else's guardian with their life, right?
And you're not going to see your old family again.
So the point is, where your spirit is taught all it can to this spirit, then your spirit moves on and then comes back again.
So you're never going to see like your first family or your second family or your third family ever again, because you'll move on each time.
Yeah, because I believe your spirit comes back, and that's what reincarnation is that your spirit has lived with another spirit or as another spirit, right? So I think we come back and we join with another spirit, and that's the conscience. When you hear that little voice in your head, that's another spirit, right? And they're saying to you, hey, dumbass, don't do that. No, really, don't do that, right? Okay, so that's another spirit saying, hey, dumbass, do not stick your finger in there. It's going to hurt.
Or relax. Don't do it. Just relax.
Just relax. And my belief is that's another spirit that is with your spirit as a teacher and a guide. Hence, spirit guide, right? That grows with you and teaches you what it knows and reminds you of things it learned in its life past. So that now you have a past life. Because you and that spirit are one. See?
Yes.
And I think that's kind of how it works, but I might be wrong.
But that makes sense.
Well, it's like for instance, my roommate Robert, right? You see, he's been here for 40 years, right?
Right.
When I die, I probably won't stay here. I'll probably go somewhere else, right? Because I want to see all my family and all that again. And you wonder to yourself, why does he choose this place? Why does he choose to be here? Does he choose here to be nice to us, to help us? Is he doing it for a job? As it is.
You'll have to ask him.
Exactly.
Whether not sure, probably. He's probably there now.
You should turn on See, when you go off the night, turn on a recorder, even on your phone, like your video, and talk to him, and then listen back with earphones, and I bet you get answers.
I can. He's there sometimes. He's angry.
Aye, but turn your phone on the video, and I bet you anyone you'll get answers.
I'll try that, but I think he loves things like this. See, with technology.
Aye.
I think he's drawn to it.
Because I probably what it was.
Sure, I'll answer that question from what I've been told by some of the spirits. Sometimes you don't see a relative because it takes them a long time to choose their form of what they're going to appear to be, right? Mm. And say the person was sick or the person was weak or whatever, and you saw them in the worst state they're going to be because they're about ready to pass on, right? So they're kind of shy about letting you see them or letting you hear them because they want to make sure they're prepared. Because it's not just you that has to be prepared. They have to be prepared to come and say, okay, I'm here, right? However, they're there. They're always with you. They're always, watching over you. But sometimes they don't speak or show themselves because they're not comfortable to do it yet. But when she's ready or he's ready, you're going to see them or hear them, And but a lot of times it's not you. You got to remember, it's two sides of a coin. Maybe it's their decision that they don't want to show because they're uncomfortable with it at this point, right? And they still have to learn all the rules. So they, not only do they have to adjust to their new life and adjust to their new form, they have to learn what we're not allowed to talk about with still living.
Uh-huh. Right.
And maybe this person is a gabbergaler and would spill the whole beans. So they say, well, I better not say too much, So there's so many different things that it could be. So don't ever think that they're not answering you because they can't, or that they're not answering you because for whatever reason they're not happy with you or anything like that. 99 times out of 100, it's because they're just not ready yet, And put yourself in their shoes. You have to learn a whole new life. You have you have to learn everything over from scratch because you're newborn, right?
Right.
So first thing you got to do is figure out what you want to look like for the rest of your eternity. Mm-hmm. That's a big decision. Now I'm thinking, okay, so I want to look like this, but how's my family going to take this look? If I show up looking like this, oh, maybe I should put this face on. Oh, well, maybe I better try on this set of skin. Like as a spirit, you got to figure out how you're going to be comfortable and make your family comfortable with the way that you look.
It's weird to say that because I had an uncle I was quite close to, and he died of leukemia, and I usually my other grands, I've had really vivid dreams of them, right? But I mean, years went past. I was 7 years had went past since my uncle died, right? And then one night I had this dream, but it was the realest dream I've ever had. And it was he came towards me and he says, "Come on, let's go for a walk." And I was walking with him, and he says, I says, "Who's all of them?" He says, "Oh, they're my pals. They're just with me." And I says, "Oh, can I go and talk to them?" And he says, "No, you can't talk to them. You're not ready yet. I have to go now, and I'm always watching you." And I woke up, and I was like, that was 6 years after his death. But it's right what you said. He knew when to come to me.
Right.
He was.
They have to be prepared, and they have to know you're prepared, right? And that's what they'll do. They'll come into your dream, and you go for a spirit walk,
Mm-hmm.
And when they say, "Okay,"
I've had some freaky dreams.
When you say it's time, the dreamer always wakes up with a start. Like what? And it's
the best one.
Their brain,
I don't remember my dreams. If I dream,
no. But if you go on a spirit walk, that'll be the one dream you'll never forget.
Yeah. I dream. I smell things in my dreams. I've got. I have some freaky dreams. I mean, the other night I dreamt flowers, and I could smell the flowers.
Yep.
I mean, you wake up and you're like, what that? And I'm like, what is that? And it's a fine sight.
I like to call those spirit dreams, eh?
The best one I ever had was with my gran. She just died. And that was awesome. I mean, that was the best dream I've ever had in my life. I mean, I wish I could experience it again.
Oh,
Probably will when I die.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My gran died, right, in hospital. Went to see her. She was dead. She was in the bed. I said cheerio and all that. And I gave her a kiss and that says cheerio. And that night I went to my bed. And I had this dream. I was walking in this whiteness.
Yeah.
It was like white paper, right? But it was everywhere, right? There was no exits, right? But it was bright, but it didn't hurt my eyes. It was beautifully bright. And she
Mhm.
walked towards me and she says, listen, she says, I want you to be brave. I want you to be with the family and I'm always going to be with you, right?
Mhm.
And she was, can you remember old women used to wear they were called goonies, goonies, you came
Aye.
talking about?
Mhm.
Like, she'd a thing for these, right? And this one, she always wore plain ones. Always wore plain ones. But this one had beautiful embroidered roses,
Mm.
right?
So
So
wants to be
anyway,
big then, probably, isn't it?
this is coming to it. And I says, so I says to her, I've done that. And then I woke up. The next day, we went to see our daughter, right? And I was talking to her daughter. She believes in life after death and all this stuff, right? And I was telling her, I tell her the dream, and she says, "Oh my God, give me 1 minute." She ran up the stairs, and she come down. She sat this packet in front of me, and she opened it up, and it was a goonie
Yeah.
with embroidered roses, and that's what she was getting buried in.
Oh, there you go. See, cool. Okay, I gotta step away for a minute.
Aye, all right, no problem, no problem.
Okay.
I'll stay live until about, would you say 11:30, and then I'll go off.
Oh, perfect, guys. So what's chat saying? Let's talk to
We'll
chat.
see what the
So
chat's saying.
we've got Luna, Beth, Scott, Carol, Shell, the Legacy Paranormal. Hiya.
Hey, Legacy Paranormal.
What else have we got? Let's go up a bit. Scott and Sarah, Paranormal History UK. Mind subscribe, guys. Put your links up. Share them out.
Aye, share your links out, guys.
Share your
It's
links.
been a good live stream tonight.
It's been good, really interesting.
It has been.
Really
It's been
interesting.
good.
Just thanks, folks. Put up what you're thinking.
Aye, come on, tell us what you think, guys.
Mind hit the like and all, please.
And
Danny's good, isn't he? Really nice
even
man.
I heard Lunar was thinking he's starting a new YouTube channel. Lunar, do you want to put the link up, or is it the link you already
I
got?
hit the link to Luna's new
So
channel. Do that one first, guys.
Aye, do Lunar first, because Lunar's helped me with all this stuff, and she's a great
Luna's
person.
in the chat. Scroll up your chat and go back to Fun Luna's and subscribe to her first. Chris, will you post mines, please? Because I'm on desktop mine.
No problem. Give me one quick second here.
I'll do yours, Ramora Shell, when you come down, right? I'll fun her for you and I'll link you up.
Copy link. Yes.
Anybody else, just
Hey,
post your link.
Sheriff.
Just give a minute to Luna's goes up.
There's
Hey,
Cruz
Sheriff.
Paranormal.
Nice to see you. Did you get her shell good?
Mhm.
Legacy Paranormal as well. I think you should maybe post yours because yours
Aye,
is
everybody
not
post your links. Come on, guys, post your links. This is
the
what my
ones that
channel's all
was
about.
low makes
Poke
people
Brown.
up. Like Sheriff, I would post yours, Sheriff, because I don't know if many people will have your link.
Everybody post your links,
Carol,
guys.
you as well, get yours up, please, because I don't think a lot of folk are subscribed to you.
Is that my
Where's
Shelley's
Lewis?
still?
No one.
The Lewis is away meeting with the folk that do the tinfoil caps go.
Maybe you should put Lewis's up for him, Chris.
Yeah, I'll do Lewis's new.
Lewis is usually here with us folks on a Saturday, but he's away on holiday. He's trying
he's
to
away.
get his channel up.
He's away meeting with tinfoil Capco.
Oh, good, good. So
That's where he is. So I'll just find his link for it.
right, good.
Good for him. I must have over 200 people I'm subscribed to.
I've
Getting
got,
that?
I've got more than that, believe. I just keep posting your links, people. Just remember, maybe do it a couple of times because people will be scrolling, they'll be adding. Do you know what I mean? Just get a wee second.
I need to go my Facebook Messenger because
Is Dobie in? I've not seen her.
his Dobie was in a wee while ago.
All right. I need to try and I ended up going messages today, so I couldn't even Skype the poor woman. I've been telling her for days I'm going to Skype her. She tried to get time for Christmas, it's unbelievable. Right, everybody,
for
thank
Lewis,
you. That's it, share your links. Thanks, everybody.
No, there's Lewis there. Kenny was about.
Just try and everybody support each other. Hit the bells as well, and then you can tell when everybody's live.
Just going to share Lewis's link.
Location. Legacy Paranormal. I need to watch that. The bells are hitting mines for all your channels. I did it all the day. I made sure the bells were on. Good, good. If you know what day you're going to have that up, Legacy, try and put it up.
Here, guys, I would really appreciate it if you could go and subscribe to my friend Lewis.
Put Danny's channel as well.
There's Lewis there.
Sharing links, Danny, the new while we're waiting on you, my friend.
I've stuck Danny's link up, and if you click below after this is uploaded, I've got Danny's link below the video. So
Right there you go, guys.
There you
you're
go.
back, Danny. We'll be ending this in about 20 minutes or something, but it's been really good of you coming on. I hope you'll come on again.
Yeah, sure. I'll be
Danny.
happy. That's what I was. What's that?
We do like a thing tomorrow night, and it's just mediums that's on. Scott, a member of our group we're in, he'll be on. You're welcome to join us if you want. It's only mediums. It's for into Ryan, Gina.
It's just a medium show.
Lunar will be on. Scott will be on. As you've been a medium too, you can join.
Okay, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, but if you've got
some time, it'd be good if you could come because I think a lot of the other mediums would like to talk to you. I just control stuff. I do my magic stuff.
Stop moving on my TV. Shell is Chrissy's moving on everybody else's TV.
It's just maybe our internet's maybe a bit slow.
The funny ones, please.
Listen, guys, I would really appreciate it if you go to Danny's channel and give him a subscribe. I'm going to be watching all your videos tonight. I'm going to do a blockbuster.
I'm okay. Thank you, dear. It's about time I went and did my oxygen treatment, though. So
oxygen, you get asthma.
Yeah. We'll just call it asthma, yeah. But something like that, yeah.
I've got asthma too, but I like my cigars.
I tried a TV dinner the other day, but I couldn't get that damn cord down, no matter how. I said no more TV dinners for me, you know. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. That is a good one. That is a good one.
So that
it's where's my book? I'm going to be giving this away, Danny. Let's to my 700 subscribers getting this. Scottish stories.
There you go. Yeah.
I want to be the first to take notes and then sign it and then move it on to Scott and Sarah. They'll do the same.
It's a good book when the guy in it is wearing a monocle.
Yeah.
9:30 Shell tomorrow night, I think. It's usually 9:30.
I'll give you Lenny this tomorrow, and Gina, if you're up in Douglas at the castle or whatever.
That's right, we're going to tomorrow. Charge my equipment.
I think we're going to the castle or whatever.
What time? Sarah?
I don't know. But I sent Danny a picture. Did you like the pictures, Danny, at the castle?
Oh yes, definitely.
Legacy Paranormal's on YouTube as well, Scott. Chris, sorry.
Do you think he'll ever come back? Do you think they'll ever come back to Scotland, Danny?
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah, that's up there.
Aye.
Probably
Legacy
next year.
tomorrow night as well.
Aye.
Either next year or the one after. I'll be heading back there for a while. So
Because you'll be coming back home. Is it Stonehaven?
yeah, yeah,
Last time I was there, it was 6.
yeah. Oh, it's
With my mum and dad. It's a beautiful place. That's a nice place.
Grab
It's a
the line.
You got the
Right.
fishing boats.
lots of good fish and chip there.
Oh,
And then I really like the fairs and the fair and the market that they have every year.
yes.
Yeah.
It's
Fair
so-
usually comes here because the shows they usually come here in May and
It was
September.
cancelled.
Because of lockdown, they're not coming this year.
It was cancelled here this year, and it's
Yeah.
because of the virus. I mean, a lot of things are
It costs a
ending because of
fortune when the fair comes to town. It costs an absolute fortune. Every 10 minutes they're in for money. Mum, the show, they did another show at the Walsall.
well, yeah.
what's the chat legacy TBI's forward medium.
I'm saying he's a medium as well. He, she, I don't know if it's a male or a female. And I'm saying
What is legacy paranormal TV's the medium?
medium.
Legacy, if you want, you can join us tomorrow night about 9:30. It usually is to about 11:30.
You won't be there.
You won't
Sarah,
be there.
you'll not be there. Is that Scott?
Um,
I think it's Sarah. Yeah, Scott's under his aid. He'll be there.
everybody in it's a psychic except for me. I'm just the controller.
That's it.
Oh, Sarah's not coming down to Les Mexico then. Is that what
Yeah.
you mean? Right.
Anyway, I'm gonna get off of here, but thank you
Yes.
very much for having me. It was
Thank
awesome.
you.
Coming, Shell.
Honestly, Danny, thank you so much for coming on my show.
Thanks,
And I'll
Danny.
message you with a link tomorrow night,
All
probably
right.
the same time if you want to come in.
Okay.
Right. Thank you very much,
Great to
Danny.
speak to you.
You're welcome.
Take care. Stay safe. See you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Oh, and remember now, take care of yourselves, take care of your family, watch out for ghosts, and have a great night. Talk to you all later. Bye bye.
Catch you later, my friend. Bye. Right, guys. Thank you all for coming. Honestly, that's been really good. Giddy's coming. I don't know why Andrina left there, because she was meant to stay in for like 10 minutes. But she left. She's leaving me on now, see? Listen, guys, thanks for coming. Luna, I hope you'll come tomorrow night. All the mediums are welcome. Tomorrow night, 9:30. And I'll see you all then, guys. Hey, Michelle. And I'll catch you all later, guys. And thumbs up, guys. That's for you. You're a great subscribers. Thank you so much. Catch you later, guys. Bye. See you, Luna. Bye.